The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus cried out and said, "Whoever believes in me believes not only in me, but also in the one who sent me. And whoever sees me sees the one who sent me. I came into the world as light, so that everyone who believes in me might not remain in darkness. And if anyone hears my words and does not observe them, I do not condemn him, for I did not come to condemn the world, but to save the world. Whoever rejects me and does not accept my words has something to judge him. Father told me."
Yeah, just for some situating in the Gospel of John, we're in toward the end. This is the last, public declaration of Jesus before he goes and washes his disciples' feet. So, and in fact, they're his last public words. In that sense, we've heard from John in the beginning, and we've seen that the theme of light and Jesus being God's light shining in the darkness and the rest. We've had that from the beginning of his gospel. Or we even have the Paschal candle here to have us remember and form our imagination as we read through the gospel, and especially as we encounter the Gospel of John and the Easter seed that has been lit in darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So this is then everything coming to a head, like we see light and darkness. Yeah, it's the powerful and corrupting forces of sin and death, and how Jesus is, staying true in the face of those opposing, corrupting forces. But there's something like perhaps more, I don't know if I'd say it's more subtle here, or because this is very forceful on Jesus' part. It's not for nothing we hear Jesus cried out and said. It's like, it's doing that, crying out, like, what does this mean? He's crying, he's shouting these words out to the people. Whoever believes in me believes not only in me, but also in the one who sent me, right? So it's very easy for me, to go back into the space of saying, if you want to know God, you have to know Jesus, right? And we have to be faithful to God's self-revelation in and as the person of Jesus of Nazareth, and everything that comes along. But we have plenty of homilies to play back in order to get into that. But I want to look at this in particular. Yeah, he said, if anyone hears my words and does not observe them, I do not condemn him, for I did not come to condemn the world, but to save the world. Now, okay, I know for those of you who are thirsty for condemnation, he does come back and say, yeah, that's right. It is funny, and it's funny because it's true. Those of you who are thirsty for condemnation, come back and say, he does say, whoever rejects me and does not accept my words does have something to judge him. The word that I spoke, it will condemn him on the last day. Because because it was the Father. Now here's the challenge, and those who are thirsty for condemnation is where Jesus is going to turn the tables on you. So, but hang in there with me. This is very important. Hang in there with me. One, yeah, Jesus has not come to condemn the world. This is very significant. Now, I think it was a quote of Mother Teresa. Yeah? Can I say this as well? I know, like in Catholic land, in Catholic intellectual land, we like to say things like, well, I can judge, just not judge a person. Okay, just leave it, just forget about it for a second, okay? Give me more blank slate than that. Give me wider berth than that. Jesus, yeah, he does. No, it's important. I think is a quote It's often attributed to Mother Teresa, something like, if you're judging someone, you don't have time to love them. Now, I don't know whether or not this is properly attributed to her, but it's reasonable enough. It's right in line with the gospel. So it's quite possibly something that a saint would say. It's right in line with the gospel. Jesus, here he's saying, I did not come to condemn the world. Why? What does he mean? There is condemnation, but what does he mean? He means that, again, he says, I come to save the world. His whole heart, his whole mind is on saving the world. This is like this kind of closing salvo for Jesus, his closing public salvo is like, get on board. Right? The train to salvation is leaving the station. Get on board. But he's just trying to think of getting everybody on board. He's not thinking about preventing people from getting on board. He's like, get on board. Everybody get on board. So his will and God's will is for salvation. God's will is nothing other than love. So his will is for salvation. Okay, that's the first part. So as to say this. If your whole life is love, you don't have anything else to worry about. If your whole life is not love, you do have something to worry about. Are you going to hedge your bets or not? Are you going to go join Jesus on the way of salvation or not? This is why I think this is why, all this, the talk of judgment and the rest. I know, yeah, it makes you a serious person because you consider the lofty things or whatever. It's like, it's not good. We're not in the right space. And then I'll say this, right? This is the table turning opportunity, right? This is the table turning that Jesus does verbally here. If anyone hears my well, that wasn't Father Daniel. I said that, right? I said that. I said to do that. So this is tough. This is tough. I know this is tough, but it's real. This is what's happening. So we have to again hear and heed the call of the Good Shepherd, right? We have to see. We have to embrace the light. We have to come out into it, warts and all, right? Who likes to put that extra light on the mirror in the morning, right? None of us. We have to. We've got to come out into the light, warts and all. But the light is Jesus. Yeah, and then of course, yeah, he's going to expose all the darkness of our hearts and our minds and the rest. But he's going to transform them into himself. And in the very act of becoming Jesus, we are remade beautiful, right? We're made beautiful. Because we become nothing other than, again, the embodiment of the living and true God that we were always meant to be. And we become a vehicle for his love to enter again and restore, revivify, reanimate the rest of the world. He wants his whole world to be lifted up. And it happens only in the power of love, which is why we commit ourselves again and again and again and again to God and his purposes. That praising him with full voice, with full heart, we are renewed ourselves to be about that great renewal work that he will see through to completion.